you very much. Thank you very much for respecting the time, and welcome to those who have just made it to the conference. Now, I would like to request our Dr. Imtiaz Khan Sahab, who is a professor at Johns Hopkins University.
No, George Washington University.
George Washington University. Even better. Even better. So go ahead, sir. You have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank Farooq Saab for providing me the opportunity. And when I talked to him, he said, you can speak on whatever you want to. So I will take the liberty of speaking what I feel about. My understanding was this was sort of a brainstorming session about what kind of strategies we should adopt to basically reinvigorate the struggle for the liberation of Kashmir. The talks are fine, Zoom meetings are fine. During COVID, there were every 3 Zoom meetings every day. And I used to ask my colleague, okay, how did the Zoom meeting go? Wonderful. I said, this, that. I said, what is the plan of action? And there was the silence. Unless and until there's a plan of action, there's a strategy. And strategy may not succeed. There has to be alternate strategy. There has to be potential pitfalls. We can go on raving and ranting and saying about that this has been done. I know what has been done. I'm a Kashmiri. I know that 100,000 youth were massacred. I know 11,300 women were gang raped. I know that there are school children who got pellet wounds, have been blinded, and ophthalmologists were not allowed to treat them. I know Angana Chatterjee and with Parvez Imroz discovered mass graves in Kashmir, and she was booted out of the region, and she's not allowed to go back to India. But how do we counter it? What is our strategy? I'm a part of diaspora. As a diaspora, what have we done? I remember on August 5th, 2019, when this 370 and 35A article was abrogated, we had a meeting in one of the restaurants in Virginia. I was delighted that people were so enthused. I thought they will leave it, they'll sacrifice their children, they would give their right arm for the struggle of Kashmir. And then after a few months, there was a demonstration in front of the United Nations. One of my friends said the Park police reported about 20,000 people were there. After some time, when we told them, they said that, oh, problem is that I would not come. Indian government will not allow us to enter. It reminds me of a joke which my father was narrating, that when Maharaja of Kashmir, he generated the local Kashmiri police force. And he told them, now it is time to go and fight. They said, we will fight, but what is our protection? Struggle calls for sacrifice. The question is, if you are not ready to sacrifice, you have no business to talk about the freedom. I don't want to look at Kashmir from the prism of Pakistan. I want to look at Kashmir from the prism what I look at it. Pakistan we know that India is committing acts of terrorism there in Jaffa Train or Baluchistan and everything. We know that. But that is not my problem. Pakistan has 500,000 army, 5th generation aircraft, nuclear power. If they cannot protect their citizens, it is their problem. They better ask their country. I want an investigation on Kuranpur, where 85 women between the age of 18 and 80 were gang raped by Russian rifles. I want the international investigation for Gav Kadal massacre, where even a person was partially dead, bullets were pumped into his body. I want an investigation for everyday murders. There was this G7 conference, and one of the Indian press representative, because foreign press is not allowed in Kashmir, and she was asking people what do they feel, and nobody would talk about it. And one person who mustered the courage said that if I talk to you, the army will pay visit to my home, rape my woman, kill the youth. We need people of the diaspora who are dedicated, who are ready to sacrifice. I was talking to Yasin Malik just 2 months before he was imprisoned. at his house. He said he has not seen his daughter. This was 2018. I think a couple of months after that, he was imprisoned. He said he has not seen his daughter for the last 7 years. But this sacrifice is nothing. He said that he doesn't consider it a huge sacrifice. What about the people who lost their sons? What about that lady in Kundan Poshpura who was pregnant as well, raped multiple times, and she gave birth to a baby with broken shoulder? That's a sacrifice. Not being able to go to Kashmir is no sacrifice. And if we are not ready to do that, shame on us. Then we have no business to talk about Kashmir problem. So the question is, we have such an opportunity. Recently, Pahalgam, though I don't condemn it, I condemn any killing of the innocent. But it took a crisis to rake up the Kashmir issue again. And tragedy is Pakistan totally, utterly failed to harp on this opportunity. Like one UN ambassador to Pakistan, Munir Akram, said that and he was right. International community responds to crisis. And unless and until we galvanize our energies, it is not, we basically muster all what we have to rake this issue up day in and day out. Then only we can dream about attaining our goal. Without that, talk is cheap. I can go and talk so many things. But the question, if it lacks action and if it lacks perseverance, people think they attend one rally, they go home, now their job is done. As a Kashmiri, I feel it basically breaks my heart. We think individually, we don't think collectively. If my daughter is 3 hours late from school, I will turn berserk. I will call the police station. And when I come back, thanks to Allah, oh my God, you're fine. Do I think that girl in Kashmir, who is at the mercy of that Indian policeman who has got a license to kill her, rape her, do I think ever that is she safe? No. And if I don't think that manner, I have no business to talk about Kashmir. I don't know how much time I have. I can go on and go. Please stop me. Huh? Huh? Time is up.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, sorry. It was little too.
We have plenty of time and we have an exchange of ideas.
So what do you want me to do? You want me to stop? So that is I really am appreciate you of Farooq Saab for organizing this meeting, because let me do a little bit of plain speaking. Freedom of Kashmiri freedom struggle, as far as the diaspora is concerned, is on ventilator. It needs some, life-saving infusion of life-saving drugs to make it stand, and then to evolve a strategy. How can we internationalize this issue? Because as far as India is concerned, India is saying there is no issue of Kashmir now. We have to talk about Pakistan, so-called what they call as Pakistan, not Kashmir. Pakistan is fighting let them fight their own battle. But unless and until we sit together, we have to basically have it at an international level. India, like one of the speakers said that Kashmir is sandwiched between 3 nuclear powers. And in a study done by an NGO in Holland, they said if there's a nuclear clash between India and Pakistan, 2 billion people will be affected. And for generations, we will have these no crops, nothing like that. Have been able, why not, to explain to the international community the consequences of the hubris which this Indian government, fascist government, is exhibiting. It is our failure. For that, unless and until we evolve strategy and speak with one voice, and last thing, sorry, We are talking about whether India, Kashmir should be Pakistan, Kashmir should be independent. That is no concern right now. It is like that your son is not married, but you are fighting the name of his grandson. First and foremost, our focus should that India agrees it is a problem, comes to the negotiating table. Then later issues will come after some time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.